Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol
YNW Melly's ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, has been released from jail by Judge Fiend. At the same time, the judge has also given Melly a chance to get bond, which means he might be released while waiting for his trial. A tweet confirmed this, saying that Melly has been sitting in jail for many years without a conviction, and that is just not right. After getting released, Mariah shared a message on Facebook on Sunday, February 9th, to thank the people who supported her. She wrote, "To my village, thank you. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." However, she was not happy that her release was shared on the local news. Mariah has never been arrested before. She was taken into custody by United States Border Patrol agents at Miami International Airport after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show that she was ordered to testify in Melly's first trial in the year 2023. For Melly, this situation has brought some hope. He has been in jail for 2,159 days, which has surprised many people, including the judge. Now, he has to make a very important decision about who will be his lawyers as he moves forward with his case. The judge was very surprised to see how long YNW Melly has been sitting in jail without a conviction. He looked straight at the prosecutors and told them to give a final reason why Melly should not be released on bond. If they could not give a good reason, he was ready to let him go. But instead of letting Melly have a chance, the prosecutors did something very shocking. They decided to turn Melly's best friend, YNW Bortlin, against him. They sent paperwork to the court to have both of them tried together. The reason was simple: it would be easier and faster for the state. If they were in the same trial, everything would be done at once, and there would be no need to repeat the process. More than that, it would give the prosecutors a better chance of making them blame each other in court. Melly's lawyers wanted to separate the trials, so Melly and Bortlin would not be forced to point fingers at one another. But the state argued that since only Melly was facing the death penalty, there was no need to separate them. Both were charged with very serious crimes, and if Melly was found guilty, only then would the penalty phase start. This put Bortlin in a very hard position. If he knew he did not commit the crime, he would not want to sit in court and risk getting a life sentence. His own lawyers would not let him take that risk either. This makes it very possible that he will start blaming Melly. But what many people do not know is that Melly's own lawyers had already tried to blame Bortlin in the first trial.
Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar.
YNW Bortlin has been the one hiding the truth all along. He was the one who had gunpowder on his hands, and he was also the one who was with Juvie and Sockchaser when they lost their lives. Melly's lawyers even brought in a forensic expert to explain everything in detail. The expert said that Bortlin's right hand had two component particles, while his left hand had one characteristic residue particle and two more component particles. When asked what that meant, the expert clearly said that it showed gunpowder was on Bortlin's hands. The prosecutors are determined to have Melly and Bortlin tried together, and there is a strong reason behind it. They believe that if both of them are in the same courtroom, it will be easier to get them to turn against each other. However, Bortlin is not willing to let that happen without a fight. He knows that if they are tried together, there is a higher chance that the blame could shift towards him, and he does not want to take that risk. When Melly's first trial ended in a mistrial, something interesting happened. On the very same day, Bortlin posted a tweet that caught everyone's attention. His message said, "Mind games do not work on people like me," and he included a handshake emoji. Many people found this tweet suspicious, as it seemed like he was hinting at something happening behind the scenes. Some even started to wonder if he had made some sort of deal or agreement that had not yet been revealed to the public. While all of this was going on, Melly was facing another major problem. He needed to be released from jail in order to start making money again. Being behind bars meant that he could not perform, record music, or take care of his career. His legal battles were also costing a lot of money, and his team needed a way to keep things running. During this time, his mother, Jaime King, also made headlines for a surprising reason. She revealed that she had started a fan-based subscription account while her son was still in the middle of his trial. This news spread quickly, and many people were shocked by her decision. Some supported her, believing that she was doing whatever she could to help her son, while others criticized her, questioning if it was appropriate for a mother to be involved in such things while her child was facing such serious charges. Jaime later gave an interview where she opened up about why she decided to start the account. She explained that it was not just about making money, but also about having a distraction from the stress of Melly's case. However, she admitted that she did make a good amount of money from it, which helped with different expenses. This situation added even more attention to Melly's case, as people began discussing whether his family was making the right choices. Some believed that his mother should have been focusing entirely on her son's legal battle instead of getting involved in personal ventures, while others felt she had the right to do whatever was necessary to support herself and her family during such a difficult time. Despite all of this, one thing was clear: Melly's fight was far from over. He still had many legal challenges ahead, and his future remained uncertain.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained two.
This news took over the internet, and everyone was talking about it. Even DJ Academics could not ignore it. He shared his thoughts and said, "YNW Melly's mom just announced that she is starting an OnlyFans account, and I have to be honest with you all. This is really confusing." He explained why he found it so strange. "I just do not understand why she is doing this. Her son is fighting for his life in court. There are some mothers in hip-hop, and you can probably think of a few, who seem to want fame just as much as their sons. Blueface's mom is one of them. I always found Melly and his mom's relationship interesting, but I never thought she would do something like this." DJ Academics also questioned if she was doing it for money. He said, "This cannot be about money. There is no way." But while he believed it was not about money, social media had a completely different opinion. Fans did not waste any time. They went back and found an old No Jumper interview from 2 years ago, where Adam 22 spoke with B-Slime and Melly's mother. As the clip started to spread, more people began to question if money was really the reason behind her decision. In an old No Jumper interview, Adam 22 talked about how Melly had probably spent a huge amount of money on his lawyers. While Melly's mother sat back laughing, YNW B-Slime called out his brother for spending money on the wrong things. Adam 22 said, "I would assume he spent a lot of money on lawyers, right?" B-Slime replied, "Yes, but he also spent a lot of money on things he really should not have." When asked what kind of things, B-Slime said, "Cars, jewelry, and he is not even out to wear the jewelry." I told him, "Why are you buying jewelry if you are not even here to wear it?" He explained further, spending money on lawyers was the smartest thing he could have done. "But my brother has never had a problem with lawyer fees. Money was never an issue for that. The real problem is that a lot of the money that should have gone to lawyers was spent on other things instead. Now, he does not even care about those expensive chains anymore." This situation has been tough for everyone involved, but it has been especially hard on Melly's mother, Jaime King. She has been dealing with a lot of stress ever since her son's legal troubles began. Some people believe she started her fan account to earn money, while others think she did it to distract herself from the pain of her son's trial. Either way, it became a huge topic of discussion, with many people questioning her decision. Throughout the trial, Jaime has been a constant support for Melly. She has been present in the courtroom, watching everything unfold. There was even a moment during his first trial when Melly turned to her and asked if she was okay. This small moment showed how deeply connected they are. Even though he was the one facing serious charges, he was still worried about his mother and how she was handling everything. The emotional weight of the situation is clear. Jaime has been fighting to stay strong for her son, but it has not been easy. Every court appearance, every legal discussion, and every new piece of evidence in the case only adds to the pressure she is facing. She has been vocal about the difficulties, often expressing how heartbroken she feels watching her son go through this. Melly's legal troubles have affected not just him, but also the people closest to him. His mother, his family, and even his friends have all been dragged into this storm. The stress of the trial, the media coverage, and the uncertainty of his future have made things incredibly difficult for them. Despite everything, Jaime has continued to defend her son. She has spoken out against what she believes is unfair treatment and has not been afraid to call out the system when she feels it is wrong. Whether people agree with her actions or not, there is no doubt that she is deeply involved in her son's fight for freedom. As the legal battle continues, more details will come out, and the public will continue to discuss every move made by both Melly and his family. But at the heart of it all, this is a story about a mother who is doing everything she can to stand by her son, no matter how difficult things get. But what many people do not know is that Melly is now facing another serious case. Investigators found shocking evidence in his ex-girlfriend Mariah's iCloud account. The evidence suggests that Melly tried to force her into not testifying against him. This is known as witness tampering, and it is a serious crime. No matter what happens in his main case, if he is found guilty of this, he could face a life sentence in prison. 6 new charges have been filed against YNW Melly, whose real name is Jamel Demons, along with 2 other people who were allegedly involved. These charges include tampering with a witness, directing criminal activities, conspiracy to commit tampering, and the unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Some of these charges are very serious and could lead to a life sentence if he is found guilty. This witness tampering case is separate from the case involving the deaths of YNW Sockchaser and YNW Juvie. This means Melly will have even more legal problems, including higher lawyer fees, the need to hire new attorneys, and many more court sessions. The investigation into witness tampering started after people in Melly's hometown began talking about Mariah's possible involvement. As these rumors spread, Juvie's father decided to do his own research. He went around town, speaking to different people and gathering information. During his search, he found out about the secret code words that Melly allegedly used to pressure Mariah into staying silent during the first trial.
Decided to break the internet the other day. You're saying that you're YNW Melly's mom and you're about to...
If YNW Melly is found guilty, he will be sentenced to life in prison. However, because he was accused of witness tampering using jail phones, the jail has completely cut off his phone access and even stopped him from looking at his own mail for the past year and a half. Things got so bad that his mother, Jaime King, spoke out in an interview, calling out the county jail for how they are treating her son. She expressed her frustration, saying, "My son has not been convicted of anything." Even other inmates who have been convicted of crimes are allowed to use the phone. They have the right to write letters to their loved ones and receive their mail. But they hold my son's mail and refuse to give it to him. The reason behind this, if the accusations are true, is that Melly was using jail phones to tamper with witnesses. This would explain why they cut off his communication. However, the concerning part is that federal authorities would not take such extreme actions unless they had strong evidence against him. Jaime King has been open about how heartbroken she feels. She says she feels completely helpless, as her son is not even being treated like a human inside the jail. When Melly released a statement about how much he is struggling, saying he feels hurt and scared for his life, it only made things more painful for her as a mother. Jaime King described the situation as completely heartbreaking, saying it makes her feel helpless. She strongly believes the Broward Sheriff's Office should be investigated because, according to her, they are making their own rules. Melly's mother, Jaime King, has been trying to fight for her son's rights, but she feels completely helpless. She explained how they had already taken the issue to court, hoping to get justice, but things did not go as planned. "We have tried to bring this matter to court, but the judge does not have control over the jail. Even after we had a hearing about how unfairly they are treating him, nothing changed. The jail makes its own rules and does whatever it wants. That is not fair because they should have to answer to someone too," she said with frustration. Her words show how powerless she feels in this situation. She believes that even though her son has not been convicted, he is being treated unfairly in jail. According to her, the jail is restricting Melly in ways that are not right, and no one is holding them accountable for it. This has made things even harder for Melly, who is already fighting a difficult legal battle. Meanwhile, Melly's legal team is working tirelessly to prove his innocence and get him released. They know that if they do not fight aggressively, Melly could spend years behind bars. This week, they presented their arguments to the new judge, hoping to convince the court that Melly does not belong in jail. One of their biggest points was that in the original trial, there was never a gun found. This is an important detail because, without a weapon, it is hard to prove that Melly was involved in the crime the way the prosecutors claim. In court, an expert witness explained why this fact is so important. The main problem here is that no gun was ever recovered. Because of this, there is no way to properly test anything or confirm key details about the shooting, he said. The lawyers argued that without this crucial piece of evidence, the entire case against Melly has major weaknesses. They believe this should be enough to question whether he should even be in jail at this point. As the trial continues, Melly's team is also using GPS data to support their claims. They showed evidence that, at the time of the shooting, Melly was seen running down the street, away from the crime scene. This, they say, proves that he was not involved in the way the prosecutors suggest. A witness even testified that Melly had told them he was hiding because he was afraid someone was trying to shoot at him too. I asked him if he was okay and where he was. He told me that a car was coming behind him, and he was hiding because he thought the shooter was still nearby, the witness explained. The defense team believes this information raises serious doubts about the case against Melly. Despite these efforts, Melly's future is still uncertain. His legal team is doing everything they can to challenge the accusations, but the prosecutors are pushing just as hard to keep him in jail. As things stand, it is unclear whether these arguments will be enough to secure his release. For now, Melly remains behind bars, hoping that his legal team can find a way to prove his innocence. His family, especially his mother, continues to fight for him, but they know that the battle is far from over. All they can do is wait and see how the court will respond to these latest arguments. The lawyers also shared GPS evidence from the time of the crime, showing that Melly was actually running away from the scene and hiding in the bushes. One witness described what happened, saying, "He told me someone shot at the car and they were trying to get them. I asked if he was okay and where he was, and he said a car was coming behind him, so he was hiding. I asked about Sack and Juvie, and he said he did not know, but he thought they were still in the car." With no weapon found and GPS evidence suggesting he was not at the scene, many people are now asking if this is enough proof for Melly to finally be released from jail.